covering the islands of the Bahamas. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
In less than 24 hours, advanced voters in the North Abaco by-election head to the polls. Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles, and this is the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. As always, it's good to have you in our company. Well, the countdown is on to the North Abaco by-election. But before the big day, scores are expected to cast their ballots in tomorrow's advanced poll. LaDon Davis spoke with parliamentary officials today.
In about a week, some 4,517 voters will head to the polls to cast their ballots in the by-election in North Abaco. With 79 new voters, Bahamian women make up the majority of the voting populace in this electoral process. On Monday, nearly 100 registered voters are expected to vote in the advanced poll.
We have one person who is going to be voting overseas, and then we have 98 who are going to be voting in the Bahamas. Of the 98, we have 6 who are going to vote in New Providence, and that's about 92 for Abaco. Voting in New Providence will take place at the Parliamentary Registration Department on Farrington Road, and in Abaco at the Magistrate Court in Cooperstown.
Parliamentary Commissioner Errol Bethel says while the government will spend over $25,000 to hold this by-election, his team is prepared to tackle it head-on.
Cost of it generally depends on the makeup of the constituency. In this particular case, I think we'll spend over $25,000. We have 12 polling divisions, and we have a presiding officer for each polling division. Each presiding officer has a staff. We've been doing work with the staff to make sure that the staff is prepared and ready for the election.
Like many other by-elections in the past, there were some minor challenges. One of them was training. But Bethel says this time around, those directly involved got the basic and extensive training needed to follow the appropriate procedures.
All of the workers would have had a training session. Most of the persons would have worked before. And what we would want to do is to make sure that anybody who is going to be working understands the procedure to be followed, and that people follow the procedure very, very strictly, because it is a very, very important exercise. So yes, we did have training sessions, and I'm sure that we will be following up.
Now advanced polling is expected to begin at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. Meantime, Bethel says once the polls close on October 15th, all votes will be counted. Then a second tally will be made, and a winner will then be officially declared. LaDon Davis for the ZNS News Network.
Well, Abaco has seen a decline in tourist numbers over the last several years, but despite that, the tourism minister is optimistic that individual branding will assist greatly in revitalizing that island's tourism sector. In this next report, our Andrew Knowles tells us how Abaco's economy is poised to rebound due to resort development.
In recent years, the number of tourists visiting Abaco has slowly dwindled. The island went from seeing 113,000 visitors in 2007 to just 83,000 last year. For the first 6 months of 2012, there have been 52,000 visitors, a drop of 2% over 2011. But Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe says his ministry is working towards increasing the numbers through an aggressive marketing campaign.
Aircraft that's flying into Abaco. Abaco is, of course, an attractive destination for residents of Palm Beach and Florida generally, but we've also seen the numbers drop in Palm Beach. So we have to now ensure that our marketing efforts that take on a 21st century look are very effective. That will include our billboards, our television advertisements, our internet, and of course, social networking.
Beginning January 1, the Ministry of Tourism will begin marketing the Family Islands as a brand, capitalizing on each island's uniqueness. And once that happens, he says islands like Abaco will begin to shine.
So we're very optimistic about the future of Abaco. We know that Abaco contributes 6% to the GDP right now, and we believe that Abaco's numbers will increase significantly over the next several months and into the new year.
And State Minister for Investments, Kalis Roll, believes by attracting more visitors to the island, it opens up more investment opportunities. He touted Abaco's investment climate as very encouraging.
I recently visited Abaco and went down to the Bakers Bay project and was very pleased to see the level of progress that project is making. They are scheduled to do $108 million worth of sales this year. And during a difficult economy, that is very encouraging, and it shows resilience.
The government is also reviewing a resort project in Abaco, which Minister Rowe believes has great potential.
In fact, it's in Treasure Key, and the company is already in operation. They operate a beach bar, and they're proposing to construct a 30-room resort. And the good news about this project is it's owner finance, so there are no banks involved. So the viability of the project and the reality of it coming to life is pretty strong.
Meantime, the Bakers Bay and Winding Bay projects both originated under the former PLP administration. And while Minister Rowe says Bakers Bay is doing extremely well, he did note, however, there are challenges with Winding Bay. Nevertheless, he said the government remains optimistic after discussions with the resort's principals. Andrew Knowles, ZNS News Network.
During the course of his election campaign, the government pledged to double investment in education, and one of the ways it is seeking to do so is by constructing new preschools on Abaco. Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald says after conducting an assessment on that island, it was determined that 3 preschools would be built in North Abaco where currently none exist.
And at that point, instructed members within the Ministry of Education to begin to draw plans and locate locations for those preschools to be built. We have identified the 3 locations, and over the next 4 years, we have committed that we will build 3 preschools in North Abaco. The first one should start as early as next year.
Minister Fitzgerald revealed as much during Cabinet's historic meeting on the island of Abaco this past Tuesday. He also announced the expansion of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute on that island to ensure residents are trained and able to take advantage of the opportunities in technical areas. Additionally, the Education Minister noted his ministry will increase the amount of scholarships for Abaco students. Stay with us. There's more.